Global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned. Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. We are so excited to have you here, and we have our breaking news for you, and it has to do with Ojuzo Kalu. Don't forget that he was sentenced to 12 years imprisonment for a fraud of 7.65 billion naira. And the news we have for you is that he has won in the Supreme Court, as the Supreme Court had overturned the conviction. Now, the Supreme Court sat in sitting in Abuja on Friday, unanimously overturned the conviction of Senator Ojuzo Kalu in the 7.65 billion fraud. Recall that Senator Kalu was convicted and sentenced to 12 years for allegedly defrauding the government of Abia State, where he was governor for 8 years. And he did this via some of his companies. One of them is Slug Nigerian Limited. However, Senator Ojuzo Kalu, in his suit, he challenged the jurisdiction of the Lagos Division of the Federal High Court, chaired by Justice Mohammed Idris, who delivered the sentence. Kalu, via his counsel, argued that Court of Appeal judge who delivered the judgment at the Federal High Court to convict him lacked the power to do so. Despite the objection raised by Senator Kalu's counsel, the appeal court judge proceeded with the case at the High Court and sentenced Senator Kalu. The Supreme Court, in its judgment, declared that the judgment of the Court of Appeal delivered is hereby set aside. Wow, what a huge achievement for the counsel of Ojuzo Kalu. The court ruled that Justice Idris, having already been elevated to appeal court, lacked the power to sentence Ojuzo Kalu. And this is quite an exciting one for Ojuzo Kalu camp, because right now the truth remains that he's going to be freed. Though we do not really know the legal implication of setting this aside, but I believe that he's going to be freed from prison, because the trial must, I think they have to retry him again, because the man who had judged him did not have the power, to declare him a fraudster, or did not have the power to carry out judgment on him. I have my colleague here in the house, but then we're going to consider some of the reactions of Nigerians in respect to this. It's really interesting. Most people are for him and some are against him. This one says here, what sort of country is this? This was what Abaribe asked the Aboki called Tanko. What will you do about the Supreme Court pronouncing judgment based on technicalities? Tanko could not answer, and now we can see that the team is working out without any holdback.
Yeah, that's what I was actually trying to drive at. This issue of technicality, if you watch the judgment, it's actually based on technicality.
Exactly.
Now, what if we are going to go by this? Why are we not putting those technicalities in mind whenever we put those judgments? This is almost the same thing that would I say happened to Johan and Hope Uzodinma, the technicality things involved.
Yeah.
You can't, apply in one section and the other section it becomes annulled. Mm-hmm. Okay, now look at the issue of that same technicality on that basis of the fact that the judge has been elevated. For that reason, he lacked the jurisdiction to sentence Ojuzo Kalu to prison. Have you now seen? That's a technicality error here.
Yeah, exactly.
Why is it being applied now and refuse to be applied the other way? Mm-hmm. These are the things we need to look at, or else begin to see people will begin to question the competency and integrity of the judiciary.
All right. And another person here says, I saw it coming. One prophet even prophesied that Ojuzo Kalu will emerge the next president in 2023. And some people laugh at the prophet, saying a prisoner cannot be a president. But
it's
how?
Possible.
For now, I cannot, because we have seen so many prophecies from these so-called prophets failing at different times.
I'm looking at
we are
history.
Not so sure.
I'm actually looking at history here. Remember what happened to President Olusegun Obasanjo?
Well, the case of President Olusegun Obasanjo was that he was, already, he was in a prison, and the person through him died, and then they brought him out, and he now became the president. But for
let's-
this guy, we don't know. But I tend to accept what you're saying. Reason is because even the likes of Nasser El-Rufai, the governor of
Even
Kaduna
Buhari
State,
himself
had
too.
already said that right now power must be shifted down to the south, and most people are emphatic that it should come from the southeast. Though we know that they are looking out for Biafra, but there are still some other guys, and mostly the politicians, who are desirous of, producing the president. So I don't know, but
I want to come from history now. I'm not looking at the prophecy per se. Now, if you look at Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, he came out from prison to become the president. Buhari himself, the president, actually went to prison.
okay.
And is that the president? Who knows if Ojus Okalu will come out from also prison and one day become the president? History may end up repeating itself.
But those repetition of history, they only happen to military leaders,
Time will tell.
But for as far as you are a civilian, this guy's case was different. Jonathan's case was different. He never went to prison, he became so all the same. Let's just look at other reactions from Nigerians. This one said, the people that lost are Abia State people, that their state was looted and ravaged with bad roads and underdevelopment. Now, this is not. You need to get this right. This is not fake news, because we are getting it from channels, from different areas, because I see some people still saying fake news. So it's authentic, my brother. You have to accept this truth. And let's read one or two other reactions, and then we go into discussing this. This one saying, Mr. Orji should ensure he is freed from heaven's judgment. There is no party oiling of hand over there. Ensure you are free by making amends where you should. That's another one. But now, looking at this issue, let's try to be very real here. I think it's based on technicality, as it's already been said. But let's be true. Did he embezzle those monies?
Okay, but let's leave sentiment here. We all know that in present day dispensation, we all know that in Nigeria, lutomania, quote unquote, follows politicians. Really, he cannot claim that he didn't loot. That's not possible. Facts and figures. Abians naturally, they are aggrieved. They are aggrieved because of the level of looting that took place in his time. Okay, he can't deny that. Just that, as usual, they will always say it didn't happen. Even catch a thief now. Catch even the present dispensation, and they will still tell you they didn't do such. Even with facts and figures. In fact, we have seen daylight robbery in Nigeria. It happens. Politicians rob the citizen daylight. They will call black. You'll be seeing it. It is black. They'll tell you it's white. We can't. That one is just that in Nigeria, except the court of competency finds you guilty, they can't call you a thief. Okay. But then we all know that these things happen. Slots. Facts and figures show that indeed some transactions of that magnitude did take place. And
there were witnesses who came out to witness against him.
I'm looking at it from the other perspective. If for any reason, that Orji Kalu comes out and he's declared free. That was one of the things Nigerians were saying, that if Orji Kalu has been in prison for this number of time, why don't you declare his seat vacant? That the constituency have been suffering for months now. Nothing is happening.
No representation.
You understand? Nothing is happening in the constituency, but yet they're paying him salaries, complete salaries plus constituency money. And people are saying, declare that seat free. And we begin to see the technicality playing out. Does it mean that even the people in the house and the powers that be, already have played some mechanism here and there with the hope that one day he will be free? Because he seemed to be very confident that he will get back his mandate. Even though there were proofs to show that he was guilty. It has to tell you that sometimes in Nigeria, things that happen is not we, the citizens, that the matter. There's a place they conclude the matter. They'll just play it out, really.
Okay. And what really most people are asking here is, by this, is he innocent? Is he free forever? And with that, does it mean that he's entitled to some compensation
Well, that
which
depends
the
on
federal
his
government may
counsel.
likely
That
put
depends
on.
on his counsel. If
Okay.
his counsel can get it as a proof beyond reasonable doubt that he has been injured, his reputation has been injured and all that, maybe he can go through with that. But let him first of all secure the victory of being free, at least for once, and the fact that he's going back to his seat. But let's call a spade a spade. If this continues like this, then whatever we are doing here in Nigeria is a joke. If you keep getting the people you have convicted and they find a way around being free,
But
then we are
for
joking in Nigeria.
me, I don't think he's free, because the only thing these guys are doing, Supreme Court did, was he's going to be free for a while. Yeah, he's going to be free for a while. But what Supreme Court said is that that particular judge who presided over the case and who make pronouncement, actually, he is not fit to do that. So, which means the whole thing is cancelled. He's out of this thing. But EFCC and federal government, who were behind the whole case, may now bring it up again. They go to a competent court of jurisdiction and now say, this is the case, these are the evidence. But I think it's going to take so many months, which I believe that his counsel, this guy's counsel, may likely build up so that they can stand against whatever mistake that they had made before now.
But what we are looking at the southeast also, they should also look at the north,
Yes.
north central, because
Yeah.
I just realized that if you
The
watch,
target.
it has always been either southeast or south. The same thing happened in the Rivers, where the last governor, I think 2007 governor,
Yeah.
has also been indicted by the EFCC. But there have been governors from the north also, and other parts of the country that have been known for lutomania, quote and unquote, and they have not been called to book. Let's not begin to target a particular region. Nigeria is fantastically corrupt. We all know these things. If we want to do this whole correction, let's start from the beginning and correct this country properly. Right now, we need every kobo that they have looted, because Nigerians, the coffers are bleeding. Our economy is in shambles. So we need every kobo we can get.
All right. Thank you very much. That's what we're going to